Okay, so I have this one. We're going to try it again. This is a 10 by 20 or something like that. And we're going to use the same colors. I may have to add one or two to it just in case some of them are running out. Okay, so that's what we're starting with. How lovely. I finally got some Floetrol. I added it to this, and I am stirring it. Before I didn't use the little funnel or the strainer until I added the water, but I should have started with that. I saw a couple of things go in there. It's known, Floetrol is known to have some boogers and lumps in it and so on. This got all the way down, so it's actually going to go over here because it's too much. Yeah, hold on. So I hope this is enough. This is what I put down. It's not too thick, but it's also not thin. And I thinned it out with a little bit of water, not much, and some Floetrol. Trying to get the air bubbles out, but it's going to be moved around, so I'll pay attention to that at the time when it comes. I did have a yellow. Oh, sorry. I did have a. I forgot the yellow. I did have the. What do you call it? The level out, and I leveled these, but the paint's still a little thick for my liking, so I'm going to move a little faster. So here's my line. I'm going to start swiping with just white again. Okay, so here's my swipes, good and bad. My arm was having an issue, but this is, we got some stuff to work with, and I'll be trying to make this look more interesting for a sec. All right, I'm going to take you in because the pillow paint, even though I did add some Floetrol to it, I still had to spin very slow to, avoid ruining everything, and it still got wonky in a lot of places because obviously the middle had to be spun out, and that was fine. We got some interesting looks here and some nice delicate areas. I like that. This is beautiful. A little bit of, leave it alone blob of color there. This was the best part of it, and it had to get spun off because we needed the middle to be, spun off equally so that the paint would properly move all the paints all my colors that I put on. And that's how important the pillow is. It has to be stretchy and not too thick. Like, too expensive paint might not be the one to go for. You might want to go for a thinner, cheaper one, or a thicker one that you can thin down with Floetrol might be a good idea. But this isn't a bad result. I actually like it very much. It's on a dollar store canvas, but I never practice with cheap paints. There's no point. You have to get used to how these colors look and work when you're using them. So you need to use real paints, real base, real good latex, and hopefully one that's not too thick. It was right at the end of it. That happens, when you're at the end of your can of paint, it does get a little thicker, even though we use ours much faster than the average person. There's little areas where I like the gold and some of the ball gown that you'll see when it dries. You can't really see a lot of those little delicate things. I like that there's sea glass in this, and still one of my favorite piggies. This is an interesting assortment of things to look at. It's an, composition wise, it's okay, but yeah, it's good practice, and I'm glad it's not like a really expensive canvas. I paid something like $2 for this canvas, so it's good to practice on these. I'm getting better at my swiping and my swirling, and still a bit hesitant at times, and that's why you end up with some of these square looking things here and there. But all in all, the reaction from the paints is good. The thickness and consistency is level and uniform. The only problem was the pillow paint on this one. And that's why when you're doing this bloom technique, it's absolutely essential that everything is the right consistency. Doesn't all have to be the same, but your pillow paint needs to be slippery enough that your paint will slide around without getting wonky and stuck. So just so you see the other one, hold on. Okay, so this is the other one that I did. Again, it's where the paints were very stuck. And if you see a lot of iridescent sparkles, that's the ball gown or whatever I put in there. Shoot. Maybe ballet slipper. It's one of the iridescents. Pretty. It sparkles like diamonds up close. It's really lovely. Too bad that the paint was so thick that it went wonky, but again, this is a reused canvas, but we used good paints to practice, so I don't regret it. Okay, so these are 2 canvases that I'm done with, and I'm done painting for this weekend. I gotta work on myself now and the house. Okay, love you guys. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you think.